Love to give unsolicited advice. That's what I do. That's my brand. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Ray. I wanted to talk about something that is very close to my heart, and that thing is emotional vampires. I thought it would be a fun topic to discuss because I'm kind of giving advice about how I deal with them, how you probably should too, hopefully, if you have any in your life. If so, run. I'm assuming a lot of you already know, but just in case some of you don't, an emotional vampire, long story short, is someone that sucks the energy out of you. There are different types and different ways to identify them. This might not work on a specific person, but it's more like general patterns, general trends to help you identify an emotional vampire, and then I'll give some of my tips and tricks to get rid of them. So keep in mind that emotional vampires are basically projecting their insecurities onto you. So they will only talk about themselves, about their problems, they will play the victims in situations where it's clear that they're not. They feel like they do no wrong. They feed off the reactivity of others. That's why they always trigger drama. That's why they're always involved with drama. They have very, very poor listening skills. Basically someone that makes you feel very anxious, scared, and overwhelmed no matter what you're talking about. The really important point to understand with emotional vampires is that no matter how much they take from you, whether that's advice, money, energy, whatever you can give them, it will never be enough. Never! They always criticize everything, especially things they did not do. I've noticed a lot of the times, at least in my experience, they really play down on your problems, telling you that you shouldn't really worry about XYZ, or that it's not that important and that you shouldn't give it so much energy. You know, it may sound like they're supportive, but that's not being a supportive person. If someone came to your mind, baby, you're in trouble. So now how to deal with them? A very good question, my dear. First off, you gotta set boundaries. You have to be clear and precise. Sugarcoating is not going to work because they won't take the hints. You have to focus on your needs because they won't focus on your needs, and that's why you have to do it yourself. That kind of goes hand in hand with boundaries, but you want to be assertive, and that means don't hesitate to cut them off to avoid like being sucked in the negativity that is a cycle that you can't get out of. FYI, it is definitely possible to be assertive and kind at the same time. Like for example, thank you but no is a full sentence that applies to any areas of your life, not just emotional vampires. You really have to understand that soft cues, like damn, that's crazy, for like the 18th time, they won't work out. Again, like I mentioned, either don't even pick it up or don't care to pick it up. You cannot gossip or get involved in the drama, in the conversation. You'll notice with emotional vampires, they will come to you, you know, like ask you 2 or 3 questions about you. How are you? How are the kids? How's work? Okay, great. Now me for the next 8 hours. So you cannot gossip or get involved in the drama because they'll take it as, oh, okay, I can keep on the conversation. Unless that's what you want to do, maybe you're the emotional vampire. No, I'm kidding. I think the most important one that really sucks the most is that you have to keep a very cool head. You can't take anything personally because remember, they're projecting their insecurities because they are the most insecure people, like in the first place. That's why everything has to be about them and has to be about them being the victim in every scenario. It's so important to keep a cool head because giving attention to that emotional vampire means giving it power because you're, again, fulfilling that gossip, fulfilling into that conversation. You're keeping on, you're asking questions, you're curious, you're intrigued. They'll think of that as like, oh, she's interested into my story, so, you know, I'm gonna keep talking. And those people, they'll always find a way to talk, to have a subject. I think it's very important that at the end of the day, I don't even know if it's like an official word, but I like it because instead of regular vampires that are blood-sucking creatures, in case you didn't know, they're energy draining. If you believe in auras or us humans being just energy fields, anything like that, I'm sure your gut feeling, your intuition is telling you that XYZ is an emotional vampire, and you have to run out because you cannot fix that person. It is not your job to fix that person. If you do desire to have a confrontation about it, good luck to you. Just remember, I guess you can still use those tips as of like, don't try to give much attention to the details or like the stuff that's directly attacking you on purpose, like wanting to hurt you. I know it feels like walking away isn't really helping them. If that's what you decide to do, that's a hard decision, but you have to remember that that social exchange is not fair. And there are times where you decide to be like, you know what, I'm gonna give all of me to X person because I want to and I love them, and it will help them when no one else helps them, or if they really need it, or whatever your reason is. As long as your intentions are about helping that person and that does not affect you, or at least the least possible, right? Please listen, because this is the most important part, I promise you. You cannot be everybody's psychologist and be okay. Take it from me, I'm a psych student. I want to change the world. I want to help everyone that I come across with. That's not doable, at least not at my expense. I can't help people until I'm helped. It's like that saying, if you can't fill others people's cups until your cup is overflowing, right? That goes from your mental health, especially because I'm talking about like emotional vampires, but also physical health. You have to take care of your needs, because at the end of the day, you are the one that is going to be with yourself forever, no matter what. Sometimes, even though people want to help you, they just cannot. You have to remember your self-worth of what you thought of yourself before the argument started. They're going to attack you, your dignity, what you think about XYZ, your values, your morals, your anything basically that is about you. It's really easy to get teared down and to think, oh my god, maybe, okay, he wasn't right about this, but maybe he was right about this. No, he wasn't. So again, like I mentioned, I personally myself, me and I, believe that we're all energy. So if you want to protect yourself, so I really think that visualizing a shield protecting you around you, or like a white light, whatever feels comforting and feels like it's actually protecting you, visualizing that will protect you if you're conscious about it. That's a really helpful tip. Especially if you do have to deal with them. So let's say it's someone that's at work and like you can't quit your job, and I definitely understand that, and that's why I want you to A, recognize the signs of an emotional vampire, and B, learn to be able to deal with them even if you can't physically live there. So ignoring them, you know, when someone tells you a story you don't care about, just don't give it any attention. Like, get back to work, or just a nod. Don't make eye contact. Oh my god, no, do not. Anyway, that was my rant about emotional vampires. I thought it was a really funny concept. I was so curious to know if any of you already knew about it, or if it's just a term that's just not very widespread just yet. I will link a test down below, safe site, not sponsored, free, that basically is a test to know if maybe you are the emotional vampire. We've all been there. We messed up in a situation, we tried to turn it around saying it wasn't our fault. Yesterday was our fault, whatever, moving on, we all make mistakes. Do the test, of course, take it like as a joke, it's not 100% real and scientific and all that. If maybe you are, you have to stop projecting. You're hurting others around you, and like, no one's being fooled, okay? Your insecurities are showing and it's hurting others around you more than it's hurting you. Just keep that in mind. Let me know if anyone came to mind. Don't give names. Now, before you go, remember to empty your email boxes, because that pollution is not, I messed it up. Remember to empty your email boxes, because that pollution is not cute. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope to see you in my next one. You're awesome. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. There's a big spider. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Okay, bye.